first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Walker, linebacker, Georgia.
For the Georgia Bulldogs winning a national championship, and now they have the first overall pick in the 2022 draft, celebrating. And he is the first Georgia Bulldog to be chosen first overall since Matthew Stafford, who is a Super Bowl champion now in Los Angeles. And this is a...
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another NX Sports Podcast episode. I am Marcus.
I'm Tyler.
And we're just going to go ahead and jump in while the NFL draft is hot right now in the fourth round. There's been some really surprising moves and really big trades taking place. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. What is going on, man?
Ooh, exciting stuff, man. How you feeling so far?
Honestly, I have to say this has probably been the most exciting draft I probably have witnessed before.
Yeah, there's some trades. We expected some big trades to happen. We expected trades going into the draft. Maybe not the exact trades that we thought were going to happen. We haven't seen Debo move like we thought, but we did see some other receivers get moved, ones that we didn't really expect to see happen.
Yeah. Metcalf as well. We kind of thought Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf, haven't really heard too much about him. Nothing going on with him either. How you feel about the Cowboys?
I'd say the Cowboys, they're not really making like the big splash picks, but I feel like they are doing what they need to do, which is in the first round, they got someone that can play both tackle and guard because we lost Connor Williams at left guard. And then Tyron Smith, he's iffy every year because of injuries. So he could play either one of those positions, which helps. And then Tyler Smith, that we drafted in the first round. And then in the second round, we went ahead and got a edge linebacker to help Parsons and Van Der Esch. And then we have Tre'Bil Cox coming back as well. Sam Williams. So far, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Feel happy with it?
Yeah.
Feeling positions to need. And that's something I'm big on. Like, you got to get the positions you need. You got to look at the talent, but make sure you're filling positions that you need.
Yeah.
That's what I've been seeing with the Bengals. We've drafted 2 defensive backs right out the jump.
Yep.
Very happy with that. I'm surprised Hill fell to us. I'm excited to see him fill in with Von Bell, Jesse Bates, and on the back end of our defense, because that was, to me, the weak part of our defense. So I'm glad to see us going hard with that. We even filled in some of our interior line with the defensive tackle from Florida, Zachary Carter. So see how he works with Hubbard and Hendrickson there. That's exciting.
Yeah.
But, man, it's been a great offseason, especially if you're a Bengals fan. I just want to say that. From signing free agents to those veterans on our offensive line, we've literally just attacked every position we need. And coming off of the exciting season we had, the Super Bowl run that we didn't expect. Yeah. Big hopes going into next season now, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say so. And just like we were talking about earlier with the Bengals, man, when you look head to toe on this roster with the free agent pickups on the offensive line, and then now these draft picks on the defense.
I just want to say
they're really
our offense. I just want to say whose offense is better than the Bengals right now. Let's be honest. When you look at every single position, now that we filled in the offensive line, the skilled positions, you go down the list from Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Mixon, we got Hurst now, and Burrow throwing them all the ball. And he did it last year, being sacked a record number of times. Now he's not going to touch this year. Come on. Who has a better offense?
I really have to think about that one.
It's a hard one. I mean, it's hard. The Bills, Chargers, they're both up there, but there's not a weakness. I don't see a weakness on our offense anymore.
Yeah, the Bills are not.
Yeah.
It's like the Bills. Bills are good, but their offense is not.
I'm excited to see what Burrow does with this offensive line. That's what I'm most excited for. And Mixon. Mixon's put up really good numbers throughout his career behind shaky offensive lines. Yeah. So to also see what he gets to do behind a solid offensive line. It's gonna be a great season, I feel.
Yeah, I gotta say the Bengals are probably my final answer on the best offense.
They're up there now, and it's crazy to see.
Yeah,
the jumps we've taken in a couple of years.
You can't even say Can't say the Buccaneers, definitely not. Can't say the Rams, no.
The Rams are up there, but
They don't have a running back to where they could say like
that
their
compares with
offense is
Mixon.
complete like that. And they just lost Whitworth. And
And
Cowboys.
the Chiefs just lost Tyreek Hill.
The Cowboys.
Their offensive
like,
line's not as good.
Zeke I don't know about Zeke anymore.
Yeah, Zeke's falling off.
Like Pollard's doing great.
Dak's not on the level Burrow is.
Yeah.
You guys do have some good receivers though, but you also Cooper this year.
I gotta say the Bengals definitely have the best offense right now.
I'm excited. And then, like I want to see how these young guys do on the defense. I'm glad we did it the way we did it. This is kind of what I was saying earlier. I'm glad that we decided to sign the veterans on our offensive line, get the veteran players on the most important missing pieces that we need that line. I feel like if you have veteran players on the offensive line, better IQ, better understanding of the game, they can protect Burrow better than getting young players on that offensive line.
Yeah,
and then to fill in our defense with the young athletic players that we're getting, it's really, I really love seeing what we're doing. I'm not used to this kind of work from the Bengals.
I know, right? We're used
good to see.
We're used to good old Mike Brown just not picking up free agents,
right.
not making
nothing
trades,
to be excited about year to year.
Picking like average picks.
Yeah, this is great to see. But real quick, we just run through the first couple rounds here, kind of just go through what's happened, anything we want to touch on. Trayvon Walker actually went first, but I think we both thought maybe Hutchinson was going to go first. But I kind of like the way it worked out because then that means Hutchinson to go to the Lions at number 2. So it's cool to see him go from Michigan, stay in Michigan with Detroit now. So that's a cool storyline for them.
Yeah, I think those two are great picks. I mean, I honestly haven't watched too much of them, but just from what I've watched, I definitely know that they're gonna end up being high caliber defensive players. So we got Derek Stingley, the first corner chosen one spot over Sauce Gardner, who believed that he was the most talented player in the draft.
Yeah, I did think he might have went a little higher. I'm surprised he went 4th, but for the Jets, you see his necklace at the draft?
Yeah.
Sauce, yeah, that's pretty nice.
Man, I want to touch on that real quick. That was one of those, like, I could tell when I was looking at his body language, he felt so awkward because she just like kept asking him about the sauce. Yeah. She was like, what did you bring to show your extra sauce? He was like, it's a bottle. I just like looked at it. Yeah. So funny. But man, I really like the charisma and the fire and like swag of these players in the draft this year.
Yeah.
They got a lot of like high tempo, like energy and stuff. And man,
got a Kayvon Thibodeau there to the Giants. That's a good pick for them. Garrett Wilson to the Jets. Is that who he went to?
Yeah. So then the Giants, they got pick 5 and 7. So they ended up getting a really solid defensive end for themselves, and they got themselves a solidified tackle as well to help Daniel Jones.
And our boy Cam's not here today. He's actually preparing for vacation, I believe. But his Saints there got Chris Olave. That's who he wanted. Yeah. He's happy about that.
Yep.
We know he's happy about that.
He is he's going crazy. Because he didn't just get Olave, he also got Trevor Penning as well.
And that's what they Kyle Hamilton there to the Ravens. That's a good safety pickup for them. I hate seeing them get better defensive players, but great pickup by them.
Yeah. Falcons took the first wide receiver, Drake London from USC, who I think is going to fit in great as a very tall player to match with Kyle Pitts, the tight end that they drafted last year.
The Falcons just haven't been the same in a while. Ever since that Super Bowl, they just haven't got it like back where they were.
It's really funny. Yeah, they had a really good year, got to the Super Bowl, really good first half. Yeah. And then once that
Tom
second
Brady
half
fucked them up.
Once that first half happened, their franchise has just been in turmoil.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to watch. Like their offense just was never the same. Like nothing about them. They've
defense has been
horrible.
terrible.
Yeah, defense has been terrible. But anyways,
so this was
Traylon Burks, the Titans there.
So this is interesting too, right here. I kind of want to touch on this. So the Panthers at 6, the Falcons at 8, and the Seahawks at 9, all needing new franchise quarterbacks, all passed on Wilson and what's the Pickett.
Pickett,
Kenny Pickett, and Malik Willis.
Yeah.
And I found that pretty interesting when I was watching the draft at the live moment that all three of those teams had passed upon those quarterbacks when just about every single mock draft had both of those quarterbacks in the top 10.
They probably just didn't have them graded that high themselves. I mean, when you look at who were we talking about there? You said
Willis and Pickett.
The teams that passed on them.
The Falcons, Panthers, and the Seahawks were all projected in like tons of mock drafts to take.
Yeah, they are like who the Seahawks have. What Drew Lock right now?
Drew Lock, yeah.
So yeah, he's not someone that you put like your faith behind.
Mm-hmm.
Who the Falcons have right now?
Falcons have Mariota.
Yeah. See,
but
like just again,
later on,
all that
the Falcons did end up drafting Ritter from UC.
I don't know if he's the answer there. I'm not big on him coming into the NFL, so he's a question mark. If I needed a quarterback and I was going to draft him, I would have drafted Malik Willis this year.
Yeah.
He's who I saw as the best option at quarterback. Now, is he better than who they've got or who they like were able to draft for the first round? It's hard to say. You know, it comes down to what you grade on him.
I think Drake London's a good pickup for sure.
And I mean, Mariota might be able to get you through a year. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, like I've said with a lot of the teams, what do you think? Like, what are your expectations? What are your expectations for the Falcons, anyways?
It's kind of weird. You know, I'm not exactly sure why they're like sold on Mariota out of all players.
I'm not sure.
I mean, Mariota's like, it's really random to me because he hasn't like started a lot of games in a long time. He's been a backup for a good while now. And he's played.
When he was a starter, he wasn't
a couple of games
that impressive as a starter. Let's be honest.
Yeah, so I'm
I just think with him, I just think they probably didn't have any of the quarterbacks graded highly this year, so they just kind of skipped on it and are holding out for next year.
Yeah,
and they just decided that the players that they drafted,
Ritter does have a similar play style to Mariota. Maybe he's going to teach him up a little bit.
Definitely, they definitely did pick a certain style there.
Mm. Maybe they're like completely changing that offense now. Because I mean, you go from Matt Ryan, who's just a pure pocket quarterback. Now you have so many different options of what you could do.
We'll see what they do, but I'm not sold on either of those quarterbacks as a franchise quarterback. You know, moving forward. But
I agree.
Your options were limited this year, so.
Mm-hmm. Garrett Wilson. So Garrett Wilson, I feel like he's going to be a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at his highlights. This dude.
I just want to say it's impressive how many receivers were drafted in the first round this year.
Yeah.
You can just see 4 right there, just within the first, top 13 picks or so, 12 picks.
Yeah. There's really none in the first, 7. And then all of a sudden, it was just a streak of receivers.
Uh-huh.
And the Jets, man, they might have had one of the best drafts a team has ever had in history, I might say.
Yeah.
Depending upon how good these players turn out. I mean, you got Sauce Gardner, who could be your potential franchise corner. You got a Garrett Wilson, who's your potential franchise receiver. I mean, Garrett Wilson's a monster, man. His high pointing ability and body control.
Mm-hmm. They were definitely able to get some high talented players, some high impact players.
And then they were able to steal all the way down. One of the biggest
Jermaine Johnson. That's what I was.
Jermaine Johnson at 26.
That's nuts.
Who was a top 10 projection in just about every mock draft.
That's nuts. They got lucky with that.
We'll get into the second round, but man, they got somebody in the second round too. They got Breece Hall.
We scroll down and finish out the first round real quick.
Jameson Williams, I feel like, is going to be really good too.
The first quarterback, actually, right there. There goes Kenny Pickett. He did go to Pitt.
Yep, he stayed in Pittsburgh.
Also, we can touch on it real quick. What do you think about the Packers, man?
Packers. Oh, okay.
Went defense.
Walker from Georgia.
I'm pretty sure, like we said, we'll get into the second round when we talk about it. Or did they have a second pick in the first round?
It
was in the second round. They went defense again. They're not getting any receivers. What do you think about that?
When I saw that, part of me was just like, do they really care about Rodgers?
Honestly, the way I see it is like, hey, if you're making us pay you all this money, you better be able to do it. Like, here's the receivers you get, make it happen.
It makes
And
me
they're gonna
wonder.
put their time and effort into the defense to make sure the defense is there. I don't feel sorry for him. Hey, you wanted that money, you wanted to hold out and be the diva you are.
Yeah,
Make
I
it
mean,
happen.
I definitely don't feel bad for him at all. I think he gets everything that he deserves with the way that he's kind of acted, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's over the past couple of years, I've become definitely not an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Yeah,
Yeah, over the past couple of years, the way he acts in between seasons and during the seasons,
I liked him at
in
first
the whole
too.
thing, also like with COVID, don't get me wrong, I don't care if you get your vaccination or not, but him to play it off like he had it and then didn't have it, and
Yeah,
just be real about it and do what you're supposed to do, like all the other
exactly.
players are. And
At
then
least
just
Kyrie, it was like he's
again,
completely
he
real
put out his
about it
belief, he
though.
put out his stance, and he stood by it.
Yeah, man.
That's just what you do, and I can respect that. Aaron Rodgers is just a diva and acts like he's above people. I feel like.
Yep, I agree.
So hey, you got your money, make the team good now. But
So
you
the
scroll down.
Eagles, man,
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
Eagles too. They got Jordan Davis and they got Dean as well. They're both from Georgia. Oh
Mhm,
snap,
mhm.
that's something. Kyle Hamilton to the Ravens. The Ravens kind of reamped their defense too.
And your Cowboys there.
Yep, the Cowboys took Tyler Smith, which was kind of like one of those under the radar names. Kind of threw people off. I know a lot of Cowboys
It seemed
fans were
like it,
just
yeah.
like, "What
Like
the
what the hell's
fuck?
going on?
I hate the Cowboys. I'm tired of
But
this."
you get that overreaction, you know. In a lot
Yeah.
of, I mean, there's so many college players. Honestly, like most of the fans don't know who these people are,
Yep.
so they don't have. If they don't hear the big name they want to hear or something, it's like, what's
But anybody that's a Cowboys fan should know by now the history of the Cowboys drafting, and they're actually one of the best drafting teams, especially when it comes to offensive
especially when
linemen.
it comes to offensive line.
Like if they're choosing offensive linemen in the first round, there is a reason why. There is definitely a reason. And when I looked at his tape last night, this dude's a monster.
yeah,
He literally pancakes people.
Yeah.
Like he throws them down, all that stuff. Like almost every highlight.
the Ravens with the pick after that ended up getting Tyler Linderbaum, who I thought might fall to the Bengals, and if he was there, we might take him. He was projected
Dang.
to be one of the highest or the best centers in the draft, or in the draft for a while that we've seen.
So they got Hamilton and Linderbaum. Wow.
Yeah, offensive line and defense there. They're filling out some needs there.
Okay.
Not happy to see it, you know, don't want to go up against that.
Oh, Traylon Burks went to Tennessee.
I'll
That's
scroll
a
down
really
little bit.
interesting one. Which one?
Scroll down a little. Yeah, see, there you go. We do have the Packers with another pick in the first round, going back to Georgia.
Yeah, Devontae Wyatt.
Yeah, so they picked two Georgia defensive players and didn't get a receiver, didn't nothing. It's crazy they got both defensive players from Georgia, though. You know,
That's a lot of Georgia defensive
I was
players.
gonna say they had a lot of defensive players go. Like, well, I think they had like
wow.
maybe 5 in the first round.
Because there's Jordan Davis. Yeah,
Trayvon Walker went first, right? So we got him, both of them from Green Bay.
well, Jordan Davis up here too.
That's 4. Was there any more? Yeah, the last one, 5.
Wow.
That's nuts. And then Bengals right there. We did get a Daxton Hill from Michigan. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I'm excited to see that he can play. It looks like he's tall, athletic. He play both safety, corner, whatever we need. We'll probably end up playing a little more of the corner and the nickel and stuff.
Yep.
Because we do have 2 pretty good safeties already with Jesse Bates and Von Bell. But him, and then we also did get Taylor Britt in the second round. I'm excited to see what they do on the back end there. You know,
Yeah, I will say
young, just very athletic, skilled defensive backs that have played on the ball a lot. They know what they're doing.
Mhm.
So it'd be good to see. Hopefully they can make an impact. That was probably what I would say our weakest position or weakest position group on the team would be our defensive backs.
Yeah,
So I'm glad to see that getting filled in.
I would agree, man. And really adding Dax Hill, that
I was
really
happy he fell to us. He was projected like a top 15, 16 pick.
Yeah,
So for him to fall all the way to the 31st pick for us, kind of worked out.
definitely. And that really brings a lot of flexibility to that team now because you like you said, you can have him play nickel, you can have him in the box. He can be the one to guard the tight end. So like you're matched up against the Chiefs, he can be the one to stick with Kelsey throughout the game. And then you have Von Mel and Jesse Bates doing
Mhm.
whatever else. So yeah, it's a great pick.
It's a big help for us because we did get killed by tight end a lot last year when we played the 49ers and then the Chiefs as well. George Kittle and then Travis Kelce both did a lot of put a lot of work in for the tight end position. So it'd be nice to have someone to go out there and be able to match up with him.
And with the way that the league is now, with how many receivers are good on teams, like there's at least a minimum of 3 good receivers with a running back that can catch out of the backfield and a tight end. You want to have multiple safeties and corners that can play. That's for sure.
Go through second, third round real quick. They got it on here. You got to scroll to the top. Yeah.
But yeah, man, this has been an exciting draft. And I also want to throw in there, there was actually a couple of trades that took place in the first round. One trade was AJ Brown of the Tennessee Titans, now a Philadelphia Eagle. And then another trade was Hollywood Brown from Baltimore. He secretly wanted to get traded, and Lamar didn't know about it apparently.
Yeah, honestly, I think he doesn't. I mean, this is completely my opinion, but looking at us as a receiver like that, a star receiver, do you think he really wanted to play with Lamar? I don't think this play style fit. Like, if you're a receiver that can be productive, you want to be able to produce, and having a quarterback that wants to run the ball a lot. And in my opinion, like, he's kind of overrated. He's not a very accurate thrower. The deep ball is not there. Like, I don't blame him for wanting to get out of there and be able to do something elsewhere.
I think, I definitely feel it, because if you're someone with his skill set who's like a deep ball runner and stuff like that, you want a quarterback that's going to throw it down the ball, throw it down the field to you all the time. If you're like more like a hybrid receiver that kind of like just does slants and like little short routes and stuff like that, you may be a little more comfortable being somebody like
he's
Lamar.
An explosive receiver. He gets down the field.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, the best fit for him.
Dude, Kyler Murray's a great fit because he slings that
launch
ball.
The ball, yeah. He wants he's having his disputes right now with the team and whatnot, but I feel like he wants to throw the ball more. He doesn't want to be that running quarterback. He doesn't want to take those hits.
Yeah.
So he's someone who will get the ball down the field to him, at least attempt to. So I completely understand where that's coming from.
And then he's also got D-Hop on the other side.
Which is that possession receiver that they have to double team and it'll take the pressure off of them. So
then they got other weapons.
I don't blame them for winning that trade.
Cardinals got a good offense. They were one of the best teams in the first half of the season last year.
Yeah, they came out of the gate hot.
They were undefeated for a while. I think they were the last undefeated team in the league last year.
But second round here,
Logan Hall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ooh-wee.
Adding to that defense.
Oh, okay. First pick of the second round.
Traded with Jackson.
The Buccaneers get themselves another defensive end. Wow. To add to that linebackers that they have.
Their defense is actually pretty good there.
Okay, Packers took
they ended up
a wide receiver from North Dakota State, Christian Watson. Okay. Oh, see, this is an interesting one right here. Breece Hall, the top running back of the draft, goes to the New York Jets. After those 3 picks in the first round, they got themselves the best running back, quote unquote, in the draft.
They've had a good draft. Let's see. I mean, it's the Jets, so don't get me wrong. Who's their quarterback? Zach Wilson, right?
Yeah.
See what he can do. Like they've
also signed some
great value. That's for sure.
They signed some offensive linemen as well.
Yeah. They've got great value for the picks where they're getting them, especially those 3 in the first round. Jermaine Johnson falling to them. I don't think the draft could have been working out better for him.
Yeah. I feel like with the way that the league's turning and with the way that young players are really changing these franchises, I think we may see a different Jets team this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking a brand new running back, brand new corner, brand new defense end, edge, and I feel like
they still got to compete with the Bills in their division.
Yeah.
Got to compete with the Patriots. I mean, I could see them battling for second place in their division. I don't see them going to the playoffs or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just way too many good teams in the AFC, let's be honest. Way too many
good teams in the AFC. Like the whole league is just so competitive. Because you look at the teams, like we don't even know what somebody like Breece Hall could do.
The Seahawks have back-to-back picks there. That's what they did. Outside linebacker, running back.
Oh, okay. They took Ken Walker. Pretty good running back from Michigan State.
Keep scrolling down.
Oh, here's one that stands out to me. David Ajabu,
Oh yeah,
who tore his his Achilles? Or his eight? Was it Achilles or
I think it was
ACL?
Achilles.
I think it was
I'm
his
not 100%
Achilles.
sure.
Yeah, because he was
It
grabbing
might
his
tell you
ankle.
if you click on the little arrow. See what it says about him.
Yeah, David Ajabu went to the Ravens as well, which is actually a great pick because once he's back healthy, he's gonna be a beast.
Yeah, 20 his Achilles in his pro day. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good drop for them. The Ravens getting good value. Along, they had a Kyle Hamilton right in the first round,
Kyle Hamilton, yep.
so they're adding to the defense, and they got Linderbaum. The Ravens are getting some good picks too.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to the Ravens, you can never really count them out. Like they're a good organization, well-coached team. Like they can end up being a wild card or playoff team.
Cowboys down there got Sam Williams.
Sam Williams, yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
like
saying
that
to
pick.
go along with the linebackers you already have there.
He was
Andrews.
I think he was like a second or third team All-American for a couple of years. So he definitely achieved some pretty good accolades there at Ole Miss. And then let's see who else really sticks out.
Alec Pierce there from Cincinnati. So I like seeing that we had a lot of Cincinnati kids drafted this year. So that was cool to watch.
Yeah, so we actually had 3 receivers in a row right here. Pretty talented receivers too. George Pickens from Georgia went to the Steelers with Pickett, and then Alec Pierce from the hometown UC. He went to the Colts with Matt Ryan, and then Sky Moore from Western Michigan. He went to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's a good match, I feel like, for him because he's one of those receivers that just really takes the top off,
Yeah, speedy
can
guy.
get down on the long post, and Mahomes is probably gonna love him. Put him with Juju and Valdez Scanlon. Got a
Yeah, they've been
speedy
working on
bunch there.
rebuilding that wide receiver core.
Trey McBride, pretty good tight end. I think he
Mhm.
was the first tight end taken in the draft.
I believe so.
Yep.
Bengals with Cam Taylor-Britt there to add to our defensive backs.
Oof.
Add with Daxton Hill.
That's wild. That is
Yeah.
wild. That's competition.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what you
We're
need,
filling it
especially
out,
in the
like-
secondary. If there's like one position or one area that you really want to have competition in during your training camps, is definitely the secondary because you can never
There's
have
so many
enough
positions
corners.
in the secondary corners because I mean you need
Yeah.
2-3 corners that can at least like start. And
Yep.
you need 2 safeties.
Then nickels.
Yeah, so
'Cause-
there's so many positions. So to get them to alongside, because like I said, that's one of our weaker position groups. So to get them alongside the guys that we do have, Von Bell, Jesse Bates,
Yeah.
Mike Hilton,
Awuzie.
Uzie, Eli Apple. Well, I'll see who comes out and who's starting at the first game of the season. You know, see what our defense looks like. It's going to be exciting.
It gives them so many options too and flexibility. You can do substitutions throughout the game, depending upon the packages you're looking at. It'd be great.
And then third round, we just touch on like Cowboys and Bengals real quick if you want it.
Yep. So the third round, there was a couple of standouts I want to point out. Malik Willis was taken in the third round, and Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter was actually
Yeah,
taken
there's Desmond
before
Ridder.
Willis as the second quarterback in the draft behind Pickett.
That's kind of crazy. I don't know, just to me, I think Malik Willis looked like the best option, most potential
Better
for
body,
any of better
all that
body, like
stuff.
NFL ready. Just, I don't know.
I guess the Falcons maybe like Ritter for the direction of their offense of what they're doing behind that Mariota style.
But I feel like Malik Willis offers that same abilities,
Yeah,
but with a higher potential. Like,
you think so?
what does Ritter offer that Malik Willis doesn't? You know,
I don't know. man.
unless it's like the interview process or like something they saw on tape or like testing, like with the IQ.
Right.
I don't know.
We're talking
But just
about
when I'm looking at the raw talent and ability from what I see when in the film,
yeah.
I don't know.
We're talking about the Atlanta Falcons though.
Yeah.
So Travis Jones. Okay. That's a defensive tackle for the Ravens. They got another defensive player.
In the Eagles, there was another good pick. They got Dean from Georgia.
Yeah, I can't even
He was a
believe-
highly rated linebacker.
I can't believe he slid down to the third round that far in the third round too. He was supposed to be like late first, early second.
Mm-hmm. And there's Malik Willis going to the Titans there, which is actually a pretty good pick for them. Like, I like to see him there for real.
Yeah,
Him with Derrick Henry.
it's a great opportunity.
He doesn't have to do a whole lot. He can hand the ball off, let Derrick Henry still do his thing, and it takes a lot of the pressure off of him.
Yeah,
If he can run the ball a little bit and hit receivers that are open, like that's a good fit. Come in, learn, do your thing. I'm excited to watch the Titans.
Yeah, and plus with Tannehill still being there, I think I'm not sure how much longer he has on his contract. Probably 1 or 2 more years. You can
There's no pressure to come in and start.
You can just let Wills kind of do what Mahomes did behind Alex Smith.
Give him at least
and
1 year.
He can just sit there, learn underneath a veteran, get coached up by Variable and all them. And then next thing you know, he knows the offense. He can go into next training camp, get ready for the season, and then he'll be ready to go with Derrick Henry and their new receiver, Treylon Burks.
It'll be exciting to watch them. That's a player I want to keep my eye on going next year. I want to see, not just next year, but maybe the next couple of years, see how he does.
I feel like
how it pans out for him.
I feel like in the media and stuff too, he's going to kind of like fly under the radar because people are gonna be like Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and all that stuff. And I feel like next year,
it does put some pressure on Tannehill, though, if he comes out and underperforms or has bad
like
games
last year
at the beginning of the season, they might pull him out and bring him in.
Yeah. So Cowboys also got Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver from South Alabama.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's got a really good skill set. He's a good all-around receiver, pretty good body, speed, good hands, high points the ball. Very good awareness too. He keeps his eye on the ball when he's catching it, uses his hands. Really like to see that. I think he'll be a great pair to go with CD, James Washington, and then once Michael Gallup's back after about 4 games, I think he would fit in great with those 3.
You guys are building that wide receiver core. Slowly but surely, replacing the guys that got out. Mari Cooper was a loss there, but
I think
with how deep this draft is, you can replace him and not have to spend the money on the position.
Exactly. And I feel like it's just time to give CD that reign. Just let him be number 1 and truly be number 1. Not like a number 1 part 2.
Yeah, 1A or 1B.
Yeah. Because Gallup, once he comes back, he's a number 1, number 2, let alone himself. Especially when he's getting those deep balls.
High caliber too.
Bro. Those toe taps he's made.
The Bengals got Zachary Carter from Florida there. He looks like I haven't seen too much of his tape, but he seems like a very athletic defensive tackle. It'll be nice to put him out there with Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, along Hill and Reader. Our defense is coming along. We were talking about our offense earlier, having one of, if not the best offense in the league, but our defense is going to be up there as well. I'm excited to see what they can do, especially if the defensive backs improve. We'll have a defense that will be ready to play, ready to go every single Sunday.
Dax Hill.
Any other interesting picks there? More Georgia defensive players. Another UC guy, Sanders. It's impressive to see so many UC players go this year.
Yeah. UC was actually number 3 out of how many players they had get drafted in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
They had 5, and then I believe who was ahead of them? I think Alabama and Georgia were. Yeah. Which says
they got I just have it on here. Bengals got their 4th round pick in. Looks like we went offensive tackle from North Dakota State, Cordell Volson. Being at North Dakota State, I don't know too much about him. I mean, but young offensive linemen come up now, learn behind the ones we signed, the veterans we got. So that's exciting to see as well. Draft's going pretty well.
That's a perfect move right there. Because now they have someone that could give you depth and someone that can develop.
Someone that can learn, develop behind
Just
the
in
veterans we just
case.
got for
But if
future. Because
Jonah
Burrow's going
Hill-
to be there for a while. So
Yeah, just in case if Jonah Hill doesn't pan out, Jonah Hill's been all right. He hasn't been elite, that's for sure.
you want to go ahead and get in the NBA playoffs?
Oh yeah, the NBA
That's what
playoffs.
we've been waiting for.
Oh, man. So
We got the first round over here.
So
Any surprises?
yeah, so
How you feeling?
I want to say this first because
The only thing I
Man.
think we didn't predict, or at least mine, I didn't have on my predictions when we did it, was Dallas. That's because we went with Utah. We weren't too sure about the Mavericks or about Luka,
yep.
but he came back pretty quick and they played really well without him. So I'm not surprised by it at all. These are the exact teams how I pictured it.
Yeah, so I had all of these as well, except I went out on a limb for some odd reason and I chose the Nets. And they were the only team to get swept in the first round.
But give it to him. I'll give it to him. Every single game was
man.
competitive. Every single game was competitive.
I should not have fooled around like that. I do deep down too. The Celtics were going to destroy them. I do it too.
Dude, just what it is for real. Who was it? It was either like Chris Broussard or Nick Wright, one of those guys, Colin Cowherd, on TV, say that the problem with the Nets is they don't have like a legit Batman Robin. Kyrie wants to play like he's Batman, but he's not. He's a Robin. He's not your leader on the team.
Yep.
And KD, talent-wise, I think he can be a Batman. He is there. He can be a superstar on a winning team.
Mentality.
But he just doesn't have the leadership, the mentality of it. Like
it's two
he
Robins,
needed Steph. He needed Steph.
They got
to get
two
those
Robins on one
rings.
team.
Kyrie needed LeBron to get the rings he got. It is what it is. I don't think neither of them are going to be the one to lead them. They can't get past the first round. They've been together for 3 years now.
Yeah, I mean, they just got swept. I mean, they were the only.
I give it to them. They're losing to good teams. They lost to the Bucks last year. They lost to the Celtics this year.
Swept, bro.
I have the Celtics winning the
We're
championship
talking
this year,
about
but
the quote unquote best player in the world,
we can put that to rest. We can put that to rest.
One of the best point guards, and they got.
Let's be honest.
swept.
Is KD even what is he in the top 3 right now? I don't think he's in the maybe top 5. He's kind of falling with that performance, man. I mean, you got Giannis, you got Embiid, you got
He's in my top.
Jason
10.
Tatum is raising up.
He's in my top 10.
He's in top 10. He's in top 10.
He's not my top.
But
5,
he was arguably a top 1 for a while there. People had that debate.
Yeah,
but he is falling out because I mean, to me,
but
right now you still got Giannis at 1.
Makes me mad.
You got Embiid maybe at 2.
They claimed him the best
Jason
when he
Tatum,
went to a team
Luka.
that was filled with top 5 players.
For
And
you to a
then they
team that won
considered him the
72
best.
games or whatever, 73 games, whatever they won.
Like, how are you going to consider somebody the best once they get on a team that has 3 of the top 5 players? Like,
I mean, I would if he could have came out and won a title without them, because I'll give it to that's what LeBron did. LeBron went to Miami. He joined up with some talented players. He learned how to win because he was in a horrible situation. Kevin Durant was in a horrible situation at OKC. They weren't winning. That's what LeBron was in with Cleveland. He went to Miami, won, but the difference is he left, came back to Cleveland, and won. KD hasn't done anything afterwards.
yeah,
He even went to joined Kyrie in the Nets, James Harden at the Nets, and still haven't made anything happen.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, I will
LeBron
say,
was going to the finals with Kyrie, without Kyrie.
yep.
Like, you can go learn how to win. You can go get your ring. But if you want to be considered one of the greatest of all time, one of the best in the game today, you also got to be able to be the one to carry a team over the hump.
Yep.
And he just hasn't done it.
I will say too, with LeBron's situation, going back to the South Beach move, it's kind of actually a different situation because
Yeah, the Heat weren't that dominant
what he
team either.
did was he left and then they already had Dwayne Wade. They had one good player.
Mhm.
They had one really good player. And then they went and got Bosch as
Mhm.
well from another team.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the Miami Heat were already going to the championship 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then
They were a playoff.
almost- they
They were a fringe playoff team. Like,
and
at
then
that time.
LeBron didn't almost beat them 3-1 in the playoffs and then allow them to come
Yeah,
back and
yeah.
beat them. Like,
Hey, you ain't got to
KD,
defend
man.
LeBron to me.
Hmm.
We do have some injuries though. Middleton's hurt. Devin Booker's hurt.
Nope.
And
Booker's back.
is he back?
Booker is back, I believe.
Are you sure?
I believe, yeah.
I thought he was missing at least a couple games of this series.
Dude, I thought so.
That's going
I'm
to be
pretty
interesting.
sure he's back.
I hope he's back. I hate seeing these injuries. But also, what I was going to end or touch on there is Embiid. He has that orbital fracture. He might miss. If he misses a couple games, that's going to be kind of sad. If he misses 2-3 games, the Heat are going to be tough for them to beat. I had them beating the Heat originally, but if he's out for more than one game, I don't know if they can pull it off, especially depending on how James Harden plays. If James Harden comes out as old James Harden, who has a real impact on the game, then he might be able to get them over the hump and hold them above water while Embiid's out. But without Embiid, the Sixers are in real trouble.
Yep. He
Is he
so
back?
Devin Booker played in Game 6 against the Pelicans.
Oh, did he play?
He played 32 minutes.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, Devin Booker's back. Doncic is back.
So that's going to be a good series there.
Really, the two, like you were saying, the two major injuries right now are definitely Joel Embiid with the orbital fracture.
That's the big one. And Chris Middleton. Like, I hate seeing these injuries. I hate seeing these injuries to players that actually matter, have an impact on the game, because I just want to see good competition. I want to see the healthy teams battle it out. Hopefully Middleton doesn't miss too much. Hopefully Embiid doesn't miss too much.
Yeah, that's
Embiid for real, like
that Embiid.
he has that in the orbital fracture and then a concussion. So for real, I don't see him missing more than one game. Missed one game, put the mask on, come out and play. That's what I'm hoping to see within. Middleton has what a ACL, MCL injury or something.
MCL, like
he's grade 2, grade 3 sprain.
He's gonna be out for a while. He can't just come back.
So that one's a little iffy. It helps my Boston pick though.
Yeah, the fact that they like declared the whole series already for Middleton says a lot. Like, there's no possibility of coming back for the series.
Oh, they already declared him out this whole series?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's rough.
Embiid, man.
That's rough. This might not go to 7.
If Embiid can overcome this and take out the Heat, dude, this is going to be a hell of an MVP season, I would have to say.
Yeah.
Because
I hope he goes back. I want to see what Embiid can do.
Not only did he deal with all that
gets
drama and then trying to integrate James Harden, and then this orbital fracture, just a few games ago, he messed his finger up and he has to get surgery on his finger too.
Mm-hmm.
If he can overcome all of this, wow.
That's my MVP. That's what I was saying. So what are we thinking? We got that Suns and Dallas series is going to be good.
I'm going to say Phoenix, though.
Yeah, that's who
I'm
I have.
going to say Phoenix in 6.
I would not be surprised at all. So Mavericks were one of my dark horses. I ended up going with Celtics as my dark horse team all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But the Mavericks for my West was a dark horse team. But yeah, I got the Suns still. They're looking good, especially Chris Paul.
Yeah, I just think the Suns are
they're
locked
in.
And I really like the Mavericks.
Huge fan of the
they're good. But I just don't think they can compete with that IQ.
Yeah, they're way
the Suns.
The Suns are way too locked in.
And it's the second
Chris Paul
round
missed
now.
a fucking shot this last game. He
And
was like, what, 14 for 14, like 30
14
points.
14, first player in NBA history.
That's nuts.
And I feel like with the second round coming in, the teams that really know how to build their playoff momentum are going to start firing off
they're
now.
starting to hit all cylinders. Yeah. We got the Golden State and Memphis game down there. Like I said, Golden State's experience is just going to be too much for Memphis. I think it's going to be an exciting series, but Golden State's just going to be too much. Dang. Golden State's your underdog pick, isn't it? That's who you had going to the finals.
Yep, I got them winning it all.
Winning it all. So,
yep.
Yeah, and they're hitting their stride too. That's one of those veteran teams hitting their stride in the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Ja versus Curry. That's a
cool
cool matchup.
The West is so healthy. Yeah, that's a cool matchup.
Bro, that is a cool matchup right there. Wow. That is dope. Ja
with that
Curry.
injury, I had Boston before. I definitely had Boston going. Probably maybe Boston is 6 now for real with that injury to Chris Middleton. I had Boston in 7 before, but for real with Chris Middleton out 6, I can see Giannis doing his thing still.
We thought that Nets and Celtics was a matchup. Giannis versus Tatum.
Round 2.
But it sucks not having Middleton there. It's not the same matchup. I wanted to see the Celtics and Bucks go at it.
Damn.
But that Boston, I got Boston in 6 now.
Tatum versus Giannis. That's gonna be insane.
What do you think about that Heat? We need to see what happens with Embiid. There's gonna be some good games. There's good games, but there's so many questions up in the air right now.
Yeah.
Especially on the East. The West is like, let's just play ball. Let's see what happens.
So wait, how many games do you have for the Warriors?
I got the Warriors. Warriors in 5.
Dude, I was about to say I'm taking 5. Like,
Yeah,
I don't see the
Warriors in
Grizzlies
5.
winning more than one game just because like the Warriors are just so good as a team. And we saw some weaknesses in the Grizzlies against the Timberwolves in the first round. And yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we went 6, but I got them at 5.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, that Boston Milwaukee, I got Boston at 6 now.
Because you gotta think too, like
I probably got Suns in 6 as well.
and you gotta think those games where like the Timberwolves were up by like 25, they gave up the leads.
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors, if they go up by 25,
They're not giving up that
you're gonna
lead.
probably lose by 40.
They're not giving up that lead. And then for real, that Heat and Sixers, I have no idea right now. Like, it all just matters on Embiid. That's going to be a 6-7 game series.
Yeah, if Embiid is gonna be out,
If he
for a
misses 2 or
while,
3 games, that's the Heat all the
That's
way. The Heat in 6, maybe if he misses 3 games or so. But like I said, put a mask on. Hopefully, he only misses 1 game. I'm gonna stick with Sixers. Sixers and
there's a lot to consider.
6 or
in this
7.
one.
Yeah, Sixers and 6 or 7 right now. We'll see when we do our next update, our next episode, see how we're feeling then. See what's been said about Embiid. We got some good matchups. I'm excited.
Jimmy
I'm excited for the
Butler's
West.
playing.
I'm excited for the West.
Jimmy Butler's playing really good right now.
The whole Heat team is playing really well. Their defense. That's what I think sets the
Dang.
Celtics and Heat apart. Is their defense is on another level compared to some of these other teams. Their defense is so good. But I think Jason Tatum right now, the way he's playing, like I said when we did our prediction podcast, this is his year to take that step, and he's doing it.
I'm struggling
he's
in the
doing
East
it.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
On
big
which one?
time.
Both of them?
Both of them.
No, I got Boston, and then I'm going to
That-
stick with the Sixers.
That Heat one is so hard.
That was
The
just
Heat-
hard to – I can't.
The Heat are
fully-
just so unpredictable, I feel like. Like, they can drop
Yeah, they're so
games,
good. They're
but then
really
they can
good.
just, like, destroy teams. And it's just like, what Heat are
I got it.
really
It's a
good?
6-7 game series either way it goes, but I'm sticking with the Sixers right now. So then it will be Sixers, Celtics,
I'm going to say Sixers.
Suns, Warriors. Yeah.
Sixers have been, like, putting up a lot of points, too, and just destroying teams. Well, I shouldn't say teams, but the Raptors, when they were beating them, they were beating them by, like, 30 points.
And that's what's shitty is Embiid was in the game. They were up by 29 points when he gets elbowed in the face.
Oh,
Yeah. Now, why is he still playing? But shit happens.
yeah.
It's unfortunate, but
So I guess I will go with. Dang, dude, my gut's like telling me honestly. My gut's telling me to take the Heat in 7.
yeah. That's kind of where my gut's leaning too. But I'm just sticking with the Sixers. I want to see Embiid come back and play healthy and see what he can do. But
You know what? All right, you'll take the Sixers. I'll take the Heat just to do that.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
See
see
what
which one comes
happens.
out. But honestly, though,
I would
could
not be
definitely see
surprised either way. Yeah, I would not
Yeah.
be surprised either way. The Heat are a very good team. They've really impressed me as well going into these playoffs through the first round.
And Celtics and Bucks.
I had the Celtics in the beginning, so I got to stick with the Celtics still. Nothing's changed for me. Like, that injury obviously doesn't affect my opinion. It makes me think Boston in 6 instead of 7.
Yeah,
So that's where I'm leaning with it.
I'm gonna say Boston for sure. I'm gonna say 7 just because of Giannis.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis is able to push it to 7.
His
But I
competitive
don't see it
nature.
happen. I see it ending before that. Well, never know. Giannis is
His competitive nature is just so unmatchable sometimes.
he's one of the most dominant players in the league, so I would not be surprised at all.
He's got his work cut out for him, though. This is one of his biggest tasks in his career, I feel like, right here. is
Yeah.
overcoming
If
the
he could get
Celtics
them
team.
through this round and get Middleton back next round, that'd be very impressive if he's able to pull that off.
Out of all people, he
And then and then if they win another ring on top of that, that
Yeah.
catapults him in like the hierarchy of the greatest of all time. Like,
last year already put him in like a really high echelon.
that's something to keep an eye on for real. Now that we're talking about it, if Giannis is able to get them through this round and win another ring, I don't know where we have him ranked right now. I'd have to like sit down and really look at it, but that gets him.
Yeah.
That's putting him up there because people
Above KD, that's
already
for
talking.
sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say people are already talking about KD as a top 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
If Giannis gets another ring, You got to put Giannis above KD.
Dude, and he's breaking like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar records and like
For
all
if he gets
sorts of
a
stuff.
ring this year with Middleton hurt this round and gets them to the Celtics, and then helps get them in the finals, win the finals, that's top 10.
I'd say top 10.
Top 10.
Honestly,
Those
all-around
rings on
basketball
top of his skill and ability and how dominant he is.
leadership, competitive nature, like
Not surprised at all. It's something to keep an eye on.
and this is something that's not really talked about, but his growth and development since he came into the league. He was a terrible jump shooter. He did not know how to shoot threes for his life. And now he's shooting anywhere on the court.
Threat, yeah.
Doing turnaround shots, everything.
Well, anything else you want to touch on? I think we've hit most of it. Will these games start we got the game starting tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, Sunday.
Let's see here.
Did you want to touch upon any further, or did you just want to do the semifinals?
We'll leave it at the semifinal. I mean, so what we have,
because we can always touch upon the next round when the next round.
Yeah,
begins.
we'll touch on the next round when we get there. I mean, for now, like I still have my picks going forward. I got Celtics, Sixers. I have the Celtics going to the finals still against the Suns. But what I'm like, that Warriors team, the Warriors and Suns matchup. But we'll touch on it when we get a little farther. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that with our predictions going forward for this next round. Keep an eye out on these injuries.
Yep. So
we got tomorrow. Let's see. We got tomorrow the first game for the Bucks and Celtics at 1. That'll be good. And then the Warriors and Grizzlies at 3:30. So we got some good games to watch tomorrow. Yeah, there we go. And then Monday, Sixers Heat kickoff. Suns Mavericks. Those are the night games. We got some good series kicking off. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I really look forward to these games. There's gonna be some really good matchups. And tomorrow, man,
I'm really excited for that Mavericks Suns series. And the Warriors Grizzlies. I just need to see.
These are all good. These are really good.
Yeah, these are all some good series. That Celtics Bucks.
Tomorrow's going to be starting on fire. Bucks and Celtics at 1.
It's a good game.
Warriors
right
and
off the
Grizzlies
bat.
at 3:30 on ABC.
Yeah.
What a way to start.
I want you guys to let us know, though, while we discussed about it, where do you guys have Giannis ranked? Where's he ranked right now? Where you have him right now?
Is he your MVP this season?
Embiid's still my MVP this season. But Giannis, he's climbing that. I want to know in the comments where you have him ranked right now. And then if they do win a ring this year, where would you put him? Top 10? Does he pass KD? Is he above KD already? Let me know. Let us know. Anything else for you, man?
I believe that is it. And also feel free to let us know what you guys think is going to happen in the rest of the playoffs and who you have advancing to the conference finals and who you have as the champions this year.
We touched on it earlier at the beginning of the podcast here with the NFL draft. Let us know what you guys think of the Bengals picks, if that's your team or whoever your team is. Let us know what you think of how it's gone, the first couple picks, any things that you were surprised by, the trades. Just anything you'd like to talk about, drop it in the comments. We'll try to reply and get back to you as much as we can, interact with you guys. Other than that, just keep an eye out for the next podcast. We appreciate all the support and everything.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another Annex Sports podcast.
We'll see you next time.